Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School, and I wanted to quickly discuss an article that I just read on Market Watch, in which Sheila Bair, who's a former top banking regulator, who was instrumental in getting the U.S. through the 2007-2008 crisis, she says that the Fed's big move recently, their biggest move, which was to pump, I think, $700 billion into the economic system and lower interest rates down to pretty much zero, that's not the right move. Basically, the Fed made a big move to try to boost the economy out of the coronavirus problem that they've had economically. The move did not work. Right when they made the move, the futures market for stocks just plummeted, and and nobody knows what's going to happen now. In fact, they hit a down limit. Down limit means that that the prices went so low that they just stopped all trading until further notice. So effectively, what she's saying is that here's her quote: lowering interest rates to zero can't help if businesses can't pay back their loans and they don't have cash flow. We need to get help out there, especially to small businesses and people already losing their jobs, and that's true. It's one thing you're giving all this money to these big banks, but the big banks aren't going to save the economy. The small businesses are the ones that are being hit the hardest. The working man and working woman, that's who's being hit the hardest. And there is a big question as to whether or not this stimulus is really hitting the people that really need help. Despite what the Fed is doing, what the Fed has done, I mean, if you think about it, a lot of people are being, stuck at home. A lot of businesses are being shut down. Those businesses are going to have to lay off workers. Workers are going to lose their jobs. Families don't have the extra cash they need to do what they got to do. And so, on one hand, this is a reminder of why we talk consistently about financial planning and planning your emergency fund. But it's also just kind of a telltale in terms of whose interests the government tends to have. They tend to have the interests of big business ahead of the interests of everybody else. So I thought I'd mention that. I'm going to tell you this week is going to be a really rough week for the stock markets. It's going to start off with a really bad bang, like an explosion, an implosion. And what's fascinating is that most of this is driven right now by panic and expectations. The coronavirus has killed about 62 people so far in the U.S., and that's 62 people in a nation of 331 million. That's about 1 in every 6 million people. And also, almost half of those deaths occurred at one nursing home with a bunch of old sick people in it, people who are already more susceptible of dying from the flu or pneumonia or something like that. So it doesn't mean the coronavirus isn't serious. It doesn't mean it can't get worse, but it does mean that maybe all this extra panic, this virus of the mind, is what has actually caused the plummeting of the financial markets. And I've always found it fascinating because there are other viruses out there. HIV is still killing a lot of people. Diabetes, heart disease, strokes. Gunshots in the hood. So I'm not saying that this isn't important. I'm not saying it's not an issue, but I am saying that maybe this overreaction has really caused some irreversible economic damage for sure. Definitely some psychological damage. I don't think they're overreacting by shutting things down, but I think at the very least that if the Fed is going to come in and try to solve some of these economic problems, they could probably solve them in a more effective way. So that's my 2 cents on it. I'm going to keep you guys posted on it on the Black Financial Channel. Make sure you subscribe. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins, and if you want to learn more about stocks and you want to see what stocks I'm picking throughout this crisis, as well as get additional training on how the stock market works, go to theblackstockmarketprogram.com. That's theblackstockmarketprogram.com. You can try it out for 30 days for just $1. So if you got $1 and you want to learn about investing, feel free to go take a look. So take care, guys. I'm out of here. Have a good day. I'll see you soon. Hit the thumbs up button on your way out. Bye-bye.